Count Karl Konstantin Albrecht Leonhard Graf von Blumenthal was a Prussian field marshal, chiefly remembered for his decisive intervention at the Battle of Königgrätz in 1866, his victories at Wörth and Weissenburg, and above all his refusal to bombard Paris in 1870 during the siege, which he directed. Biography. Von Blumenthal was born in Schwedt, Brandenburg on 30 July 1810, the son of Captain Ludwig von Blumenthal, who was killed in 1813 at the Battle of Dönhofsplatz. Brought up on his grandfather's estate at Redenthun, where his uncle Gustav von Below was founding what would become the Pentecostal movement. Von Blumenthal was educated at the military schools of Ulm and Berlin. He entered the Guards as second lieutenant in 1827. He studied at the Berlin General War School. After serving in the Rhine province, he joined the topographical division of the General Staff in 1846. As lieutenant of the 31st Foot, he took part in 1848 in the suppression of the Berlin riots, and in 1849 was promoted captain on the General Staff. The same year he served on the staff of General Eduard von Bohnen in the First Schleswig War, and so distinguished himself, particularly at Friedrichshafen, that he was appointed chief of the staff of the Schleswig-Holstein Army, when the previous chief of staff, Captain von Delius, was killed. In 1850, von Blumenthal was General Staff Officer of the Mobile Division under Tietzen in Hesse-Kassel. He was sent on a mission to England in that year, and on several subsequent occasions. Having attained the rank of lieutenant colonel, he was appointed personal adjutant to Prince Frederick Charles in 1859. In 1860 he became colonel of the 31st, and later of the 71st Regiment. He was chief of the staff of the 3 Army Corps when, on the outbreak of the Second Schleswig War of 1864, he was nominated chief of the General Staff of the Army against Denmark, and displayed so much ability, particularly at Dibel and the night attack on the island of Als, which he masterminded and which ended the war, that he was promoted Major General and given the Order Paul Emerite, only its 50th recipient. In the Austro-Prussian War of 1866, von Blumenthal was chief of the General Staff to the Crown Prince of Prussia, commanding the Second Army. It was upon this army that the brunt of the fighting fell, and its arrival at Königgrätz saved the day. Von Blumenthal's own part in these battles and in the campaign generally was most conspicuous. At Königgrätz the Crown Prince said to him, "I know to whom I owe the conduct of my army," and von Blumenthal soon received promotion to lieutenant general and the Oakleaf of the Order Paul Emerite. He was also made a Knight of the Hohenzollern Order. From 1866 to 1870, he commanded the 14th Division at Düsseldorf. In the Franco-Prussian War of 1870–71, von Blumenthal was Chief of Staff of the Third Army under the Crown Prince. 18 other members of his family also fought in this war, including both his sons and 3 nephews, of whom 2 were killed. Von Blumenthal's soldierly qualities and talent were most conspicuous in the critical days preceding the Battle of Sedan, and his services in the war have been considered as scarcely less valuable and important than those of Moltke himself. Bismarck said, "So far as one can see, the papers make no mention of him, although he is chief of the staff to the Crown Prince and, next after Moltke, deserves most credit for the conduct of the war." He won the battles of Wörth and Weissenburg, and after that of Sedan, as the Crown Prince was not always interfering with his plans. He directed the siege of Paris and resisted calls to bombard it. He also directed the operations conducted by General von der Tann around Orleans, and defended the Grand Duke of Mecklenburg from interference by Moltke. In 1871, Blumenthal represented Germany at the British maneuvers at Chobham, and was given the command of the IV. Army Corps at Magdeburg. In 1873, he became a general of infantry, and 10 years later he was made a count. In 1888 he was made a general field marshal, after which he was in command of the 4th and 3rd Army inspections. He retired in 1896, and died at Quellendorf near Cothen on the 21st of December 1900. Legacy. He was noted for his kindliness and sense of humor. Like the Crown Prince Moltke and other key Prussian leaders, he had an English wife, Delicia Wiener, and it was widely thought in conservative circles that this was the basis of a liberal Prussian clique. His least appreciated but arguably most important work was the development of the doctrine of fire and infiltration, the basis of blitzkrieg.